Are y'all familiar with the saying, Mother knows best? I'm sure you are. And I'm here to say that for me, 99.9% of the time, what I'm saying is that my mama knows best. She does. Yeah, she's usually right. Like when she told me, Patty, put the bottle of color down and let a professional do your hair. No, this is not a wig I have on my head. I was trying to cover my grays. I bought a box of color. I went to the Dollar General and bought a box of color. And I was mostly gray right through here. And I left the color on too long. It's way too dark. Don't worry, that gray will come back through. In fact, my mama has told me, Patty, why don't you just go ahead and let your hair go gray? Maybe I should listen to my mama. She has beautiful gray hair. But I digress. Mother knows best. And what I'm talking about today, my mama doesn't even know or isn't even aware that I was following her direction with what I'm about to share with you. But yes, I want so bad to have a pretty yard and pretty flower beds and pretty garden spaces, and it's hard. I don't know, sometimes it just seems like nature's working against you. The soil here is rough, it's hard, it's clay, but I'm learning. I think I'm new to gardening and I'm 52 years old. I probably got started a little late in life. I went to YouTube and I started watching, YouTube channels showing people that were successful with their yards and gardens and how pretty they looked, and I wanted to be like them. I wanted to copy what they were doing. I mean, I have done that some. I've bought plants, that I would see them plant and that would be so pretty. And that they haven't done well in my yard. Well, lots. I've had some successes, but I've had some failures too. And they can be disheartening. I'm just here to tell you. It just comes with the territory. It can be disheartening when you spend your hard-earned money and your time and your labor to getting these plants in the ground, and then they don't work out for you. It's discouraging. But what I'm going to tell you about today, and the reason that I'm saying Mother knows best, I took note of a shrub. Well, it's really a small tree now that my mama has in her yard, in one of her flower beds. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And so finally I said, well, I'm going to do what my mama did. Now, my mama is not a huge gardener. I mean, she's had gardens, like vegetable gardens in the past, and she appreciates a pretty yard and pretty garden, but she's at the point in her life to where she can't get out and work in her yard anymore. And one of the things that she had put in her yard is a camellia, and it is beautiful in her yard, in her garden bed. It's gorgeous. I've always looked at her camellia and thought, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. And so this spring, early in the spring, I decided that I was going to buy one for myself. So I went to a reputable nursery and bought a good camellia specimen. And it is absolutely beginning to show out. So if I had just followed my mama's lead, then maybe I would not have had all these heartaches and wasted money and wasted precious time and hours and labor over planting these things in my yard that just wasn't going to work from the get-go, I guess. And I should have just done what my mama did all along. I got distracted by the pretty yards and gardens that I'd see on the YouTube channels, And I just overlooked what was right in my face the whole time. Well, enough of my ramblings. I'm just going to go on over here and show y'all the pretty shrub that I planted in the spring following my mama's lead. And I'm going to show y'all how it's working out for me. And this is it. This is a camellia. It's called a Yuletide Camellia. And this is the first bloom that it's had. And I think it is just beautiful. I'm so encouraged. A lot of times I'll plant things and, you know, sometimes they die, or they won't thrive, or they won't look pretty, or they won't bloom. So, on the occasion that I get something right, I'm really excited about it, and I just want to share it with everybody. So this is my success. Yuletide Camellia. And this is what it looks like in my garden bed. Let me back up and kind of show you where it is. It's in this garden bed, and this end of the garden bed gets morning sun, and then it starts to go in the shade. Oh, I don't know, around 1 or 2 o'clock. So I think that may be good for it. And I have, see, this is why I leave the cards on here, so I can go back and look. Otherwise, I would have never remembered that this was a Yuletide Camellia. But it gets 8 to 10 feet tall and about 8 feet wide. It says part sun to shade, and the bloom time is late fall to mid-winter, and it attracts pollinators. And I'm assuming it's Yuletide because it blooms, late fall into midwinter. Single bright red flowers with yellow centers. Hedge screen, border, containers, woodland garden, or mass planting. Water as needed. USDA zones 7 to 10, and it is an evergreen. And I appreciate the heck out of it. I paid $31.25 for it at Homestead Farms. Yuletide Camellia. Look at all the buds that it has all over it. That bloom. Merry Christmas is what I'm saying. Look at that one about to just bust open. Ooh, so pretty. And I am totally excited about it. I'm really proud of this camellia. I live in Mississippi. If you're new here, I live in Mississippi, which is zone 8A in the USDA growing zones. I'm 8A, and today is November the 11th, I do believe. And let me tell you, the temperature today, it's probably like 75 degrees today. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I have on shorts. We haven't had a frost yet. We haven't had a freeze. We did get rain this weekend, which was really nice. So we've had, I don't know, 3 or 4 days of rain in the last week, 10 days. So that's made everything look better. And I'm wondering if maybe that's why this one didn't go ahead and push on out and start blooming, because it got some good water. But yeah, the soil here in this garden bed, well, in my whole yard really, is hard clay, rough digging soil. But one good thing about that is that it does hold on to water pretty well. So I have not come out here and watered this thing every day. I planted it in the spring and, you know, watered it well then. And throughout the summer, I just checked on it to make sure that it had water, you know, because I didn't want it to die, because I was wanting this to be a pretty element in my garden bed. And it is. So I think the key for me to keep things looking good and to thriving, it's taken me a while, and I still have to learn about it, but I think I water my stuff too much. In the beginning, I would see people on these channels just watering stuff every day. And with my soil and in my conditions, if I water stuff every day, it's going to drown, because the soil holds on to water. And, you know, I'd drown the roots in a minute and wonder how come my plant wasn't thriving. But, you know, I'm a beginner, so there's a learning curve, and it's pretty steep. But yeah, that's why I was thinking that this camellia would do well for me, because when I see it in my mama's yard, it's thriving and it's beautiful, and she doesn't do anything to it. Truth be known, I don't know if she's ever watered it. So I guess the saying is true, the right plant for the right place. And in my Mississippi Zone 8A heavy clay soil garden, this camellia is doing well. So this is the right plant for this right spot. Hopefully, I hope I hadn't jinxed myself bragging about it and then it shrivels up and dies. I hope not. That'd be my luck. But I'm going to stay positive about it. And I'm just going to admire her for her beauty. And Mama, if you're watching this, you were right again, and you didn't even know it. And I just want to encourage all of the new gardeners, regardless of your age. I'm 52. I'm still a beginner in my gardening journey. I learn stuff every day. Let me just encourage y'all. Maybe I can save y'all some heartache. When you're beginning on your garden journey, look around in the yards and landscapes of the people who live around you and see what's thriving for them, and see how much effort they're having to put into it. And maybe go and ask them. Say, what does well for you? How do you take care of this? You know, ask them what maybe they recommend. Because they'll tell you. Gardeners are nice like that. People who have a love for the garden and yard work and love being out in nature, they're the nicest people you'll ever meet, and they want to talk about it. And if you're a new gardener, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I might be able to tell you what not to do more so than what you need to do, because I've made a lot of mistakes, but that's okay. I'm still in it. I still think it's fun. Ooh, I think I'm sitting on some ants. So yes, indeed, My mother does know best. And my mama's been in a video with me before, so I'll link that right here. And y'all go watch it after this video. I think y'all like my mama. She's full of wisdom.